What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KFLeXin. I'm back here with yet another video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Dolphins signed Bradley Chubb. Now, this was a huge move. Everybody knows our pass rush was probably one of the last weak spots on our team. This move makes the Dolphins contenders. If we weren't already contenders, I think we were already contenders, but this definitely makes us contenders for a Super Bowl. The world is seeing it. I don't like the world seeing that we're contenders. I don't like the world saying we're contenders for a Super Bowl or even considering us considered contenders. I like it better when we're under the radar, but we're contenders, okay? Get in the comments and let me know what you think. Oh, I was about to end the video. I meant to say, shout out to people who like this video before they even heard the sentence. Now let's get into the video, okay? We got Bradley Chubb. Now, Bradley Chubb is a guy who does have some injuries, but he is a great player. Now, we traded away a first-round draft pick and a fourth-round draft pick. These are two really good picks. You know, a fourth-rounder you can get a great player with, and a first-rounder you definitely can get a great player with. So we traded away two really good picks for a really good player. Now, I mean, the 49ers are looking like they're in win-now mode. Obviously, they don't have Trey Lance starting anymore. They have Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance got injured. Jimmy Garoppolo is more of a win-now kind of quarterback. I mean, they were always in win-now mode because they didn't have their pick to not be. But at least when they was working with Trey Lance, it was some growing pains where I feel like they would have got less wins or had less chances to win in some of these games. I think Jimmy G gives them a better chance to win games. So I think that our pick isn't going to be that great. I do think the 49ers are going to make the playoffs. And so I don't think our pick is going to be super, like, it's not, we didn't trade a top 10 pick or anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the 49ers going that direction. They just got Christian McCaffrey to even get better. So the pick that we got, that we just traded, again, it's not, I'm not trying to say it's not premium. It is. It's a first round draft pick, but it ain't going to be, I don't think it's going to be a top 10 pick. I don't think it's going to be a top 15 pick, honestly. I think it's going to be on the back end. And who cares in that case? Well, you can still care, but I don't care. And also, I don't have to watch the 49ers anymore and root for them to lose. It's already enough to have to root for the Dolphins to win. I don't want to have to look at the 49ers and, oh my God, they won too. Our pick just got worse. We don't have to worry about that no more, okay? We got our pick. Our pick is Bradley Chubb. All right. Now, if you look at Bradley Chubb's stats for this season, he already has 5.5 sacks, 26 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles already. Now, we're already working on an extension with him. We have to sign him long term because when you trade for a player and you give up assets, you almost have to trade. You almost have to sign them long term. So you kind of don't have any leverage in that situation because you gave up so much for him. It's like you couldn't do it for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Unless you win a Super Bowl, which then why wouldn't you want to pay him? But if you want to like when we traded for Tyreek, for instance, we had to sign him because I mean you just can't have a guy on an expiring contract, lose him after trading assets for him for 1 year rental. That doesn't make sense, right? Especially not a young talent like this. So he's 26 years old, 5.5 sacks. He had one season we had over 10 sacks. I was just looking at his stats. 12 sacks his rookie year. He was looking amazing. Here recently he has slowed down. He only played 4 games his second season. Only had 1 sack. Look at his third season where he did end up playing 14 games. Had 7.5 sacks. Here he only played 7 games with no sacks in 2021. And then here he has 5 sacks. So it looks like he's ramping back up. But yeah, I mean, his best season looks like it was his first season. I think his best football is still to be played, though, ahead of him. I think this season he can compete with his first season. And I think he's had injuries in between, as you can see. I don't know, 2020 was a funny season because, I mean, he did play 14 games. Again, I don't recall because my memory is not that good. And I don't know if I was watching the Broncos, but here he did have only 7.5 sacks and he played 14 games, which is still good. You know, it's still great. And you got to look at the hurries. I mean, look, he had 12 sacks, 21 hurries in the first season, and then in this season he had 19 hurries. So, I mean, he almost had the same amount of hurries. It's just he just wasn't getting the number. He wasn't getting the sacks, but he was still getting hurries, and hurries are important too. So, and we have Jalen Phillips, who's already getting, to the quarterback as well. He's just not getting the sack. So, we got a good 1-2 punch right there. And then Agba, who we paid, I don't know what's going on with him, but I think he still obviously should have some type of role. So yeah, but you look at him this year, he's already at 8 hurries and 5 sacks. So he's looking good this year. And every year he looked like he stayed healthy. It looked like it was a successful year. And this year, only played 7 games, ended up having none. But every game he was healthy. I mean, every year he was healthy. I mean, he ended up looking like a beast. So let's hope we got a healthy Bradley Chubb. And now if you look at like what we traded, it was the first round draft pick, it was a 4th round draft pick, and it was Chase Edmonds. I forgot about Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is addition by subtraction because Chase Edmonds was not good with us. I imagine he will be better with the Broncos. I imagine that Chase Edmonds is not as bad because I was watching with the Cardinals. He's not as bad as he looked in Miami. But in Miami, he just looked terrible. And so I wouldn't imagine he would be that trash like with them, but it's not really a loss for us. Okay, we knew we needed another running back anyways, and we end up getting another running back in Jeff Wilson, which I'll talk about in a second. But if you look at it, I mean, we were able to get out of his contract. He had a $6.6 million cap hit in 2023. So we were able to get out of his contract is great. And we supposed to already have another first round draft pick, but they took it away for us tampering, because Brian Flores is a snitch. And then we also have Melvin Ingram, I forgot, on the edge. So yeah, our edge rushers are all set. Our secondary needs to hold up. Byron Jones is an interesting case, because if he comes back, I mean, we're incredible. But I don't know what's going on with Byron Jones. Nobody knows what's happening, you know? And I just realized, oh yeah, we got a 5th round draft pick as well with him. But yeah, nobody really knows what's going on with Byron Jones. I don't know what's going on with Byron Jones. So it's like, I mean, that would be amazing though if he could come back. Our defense would be so stacked. Our offense is great, supremely talented. We would be in great position, and we have to take advantage of it, because eventually you got to pay Tua, you got to, you know what I'm saying, and then things get ugly, at some point. So this team is so supremely talented. This year, I would like for us to be able to take advantage this year. And I know paying Tua is like way far in the future, and I know it's like something that I probably shouldn't even think about now, but I do think about it. But let's see. The other running back, we got Jeff Wilson, who's already familiar with the system. Now, a lot of people want to Kareem Hunt, including me, but we end up getting Jeff Wilson. Let's see what we got. In return, the 49ers are getting only traded the 5th round draft pick. Okay, 5th round draft picks don't really matter. 5 through 7 to me don't really matter. It's like special teamers and stuff. Sometimes you get a diamond in the rough, but what's the chances of that? Just get Jeff Wilson. He's probably gonna be just as good as whatever he was getting in the 5th. So we didn't really lose nothing. He's averaging 4.4 yards a carry, and this season. Has 2 touchdowns and averaging 5.1 yards per carry. Okay, but he averaged 4.4 for his career. So, to get him and Mostert, we basically have the 49ers backfield that they have, and they run the ball well. This move is good. I'm pretty sure Wilson can catch. Mostert, although he's really, really good, and it would be nice for him to like get majority of the carries. Like, I think everybody kind of knows like he's kind of like an injured, he's prone to injury. So it's like, you have to pick up somebody else, and Edmonds just was not he wasn't doing it. He just wasn't, but that's gonna be the video, ladies and gentlemen. Miami Dolphins made 2 new signings. Also, Austin Jackson's coming back. I activated him off IR. I just don't know what's going on with Byron. I don't know what's going on with Byron. If Byron Jones can come back, we're good. But where's Byron? Other than that, the team is talented, supremely talented, most talented Dolphins team I've ever seen in my life. Pray the injury bug don't get us, and that we could just play football, and whether we win or lose, let's win or lose with our best players. We don't want to, win or lose and have injury excuses. I want all my players to play. I know I'm a little late on this video. I had to restart my whole computer, redo a lot of stuff with my computer, but it's back up and running. So I will be making more videos. Y'all know the Sunday video coming. Probably make a preview video. Bears this week. Like, comment, subscribe. Till KFLeXin. I'm out.